Hi there, it's Mrs. Drake with the clarinet. We are going to be doing the book Lesson 21. Everybody get out the book Lesson 21. And I hope you warmed up on some scales. And of course warm up on your finger tester exercises. Remember these? Always include those as part of your warm-up, Lesson 21. And before we even do that, could everybody flip back to page 26? There's a nice warm-up, page 26. Everybody flip back to page 26. And I'd like to do the one that's on the bottom of the page, the second one called Technique, the very last song on page 26. Okay, scan through it. You see it's kind of scale-ish. There's like a little 5-note scale there. The second line includes a few slurs. But the main thing on this bottom one on page 26 is where you'd have to go from B flat to high C, which is red, and back to B flat. So watch my fingers for a second. So I'd like you to warm that up. B flat to high C with the red, and then back to B flat. Go back and forth from B flat to high C. And try it in a slur. Try that, everybody. Okay, so scan through this. Can you see that almost every measure is the same? Almost every measure is the same, but the second line adds a few slurs. All right, so find the first note, F. T, 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 T. Song number 5. Ready, go. So that was another warm-up one. Okay, flip back to lesson 21. Flip back to lesson 21. Remember to breathe in often to keep your reed clean. Okay, song number 1. Notice song number 1 has a divisi, so you can choose to play the high notes or you can play the low notes. And as I look through the divisi, every note is an octave, meaning high C or low C. There's 8 steps in between, so it's called an octave. So the whole song is in octaves. Also, please notice that on the very last measure, they forgot to draw the bottom low C. So could you add on the very, very last measure a low C for the person who's playing the bottom part of the divisi? The person should end on a low C. Okay, also scan through number 1 and notice the slurs. The slur means for both parts of the divisi. So look, every 2 measures is slurred. Whether you're playing the top notes or the bottom notes, the slur goes for both, okay? First times through, if you want to leave off your slurs, it's okay. But sometimes people feel that the slurs actually makes the high notes a bit easier. If you have small hands, it might squeak. But I expect you to know the notes. I expect you to know which one is which, and I expect you to know them on your fingers. Even if it doesn't sound beautiful because your hands are small, I expect you to know what you're aiming for on your fingers. Okay, so song 1, I'm going to play the high notes, the top part of the divisi. You can play with me, or you can play the opposite part. You can play the bottom part if you want. So choose on song 1. Are you going to do the top notes or are you going to do the bottom notes? I'm going to do the top notes. Everybody warm up your first note of song 1. Song 1. 1, 2, ready. Song 1, now I'm going to play the bottom part. So again, choose to play with me or play the opposite part. Remember, if you're playing the top part, you're going to need your red pinky and you're going to need your green pinky. Okay, song 1, warm up your first note. Song 1. 1, 2, ready. Okay, song 2 is called the Dotted Quartermaster March. Okay, the beginning has arrows. That means to play them, flick your tongue a little harder than usual to make it come out louder. It's called an accent. I feel that's icing on the cake. For elementary school, don't worry about the accents. Just, again, try to get your fingers right, try to get the rhythm right. Scan through the song. There's no key signature. So I'm looking to see if there's any B's. My eye is not catching any B's in that song at all, so that's good. DSL fine. Do you remember DSL fine means to return to that demented dollar sign? It's at the end of measure 2. So at the end of measure 2 is the del. It's called the del segno, DS. Del segno means the sign in Italian. So what you're going to do for song 2 is you play it all the way through, then you leap back to the del segno, play again, and stop at the word fine. The fine is at the end of the second line. So it ends up being kind of a long song. So for now, decide whether you're going to play the top notes of the divisi or are you going to play the bottom note of the divisi. And as you look through the song, everything again is an octave. So if the top note is a G, the bottom note is also a letter G. This whole song is divisi is all an octaves. Okay. Looking ahead, there is a high A, like in measure 6, 7, 8, measure 9. Measure 9, if you're playing the top of the divisi, it goes up to a high A. Remember, high A is 2 fingers on your left hand with your thumb on the register key. It should sound like this. Everybody warm up a high A. Okay, so song number 2. I'm going to play the high notes of the divisi. You can play along with me, or you can do the opposite. You can do the bottom notes if you want. Okay, everybody warm up the first note of song 2. Song 2. 1, 2, ready, go. A challenging song. Realize if I'm going too fast for you, feel free to just put your mouthpiece on your shoulder and just try moving your hands while you listen to the video. Or certainly feel free to turn off the video and practice it at a slower speed without me. And just practice it at a slower speed. But eventually I hope you can get it up to my speed. Okay, same song, but now I'm going to play the bottom staff. The bottom of the divisi, the low note. So decide whether you're going to play with me or are you going to play the high notes. Song number 2, everybody warm up the first note. Song 2. 1, 2, ready. this video now. I will pick up on it. I'll make another video for songs 3, 4, and 5. So that was half of lesson 21.